Now that we understand the 4 pillars of consumer psychology and the levers that influence if someone makes a purchase, let's understand the types of consumers that are out there. And keep in mind, this is another conceptual framework, so we're gonna rely on some generalizations, but I found it very effective as I've decided upon my e-commerce strategy. So, all consumers can basically be broken down into a bell curve-like shape composed of 3 different categories. And we're gonna be making an assumption that spending money is like causing pain to oneself. I know I certainly feel that way when I end up overspending on a dinner with a hot date, or wake up after a night out at a club realizing that the bottles were a little pricier than I expected. Spending our money is painful, and we wanna minimize that, and that's how consumers are thinking. So, the first category of buyers is gonna be called your impulse buyers. They constitute around 20% of the market. These consumers spend without hesitation, they don't feel much pain before making a purchase, and they are motivated by excitement and limited opportunity. They need minimal convincing to make a purchase. Just the thrill of a new opportunity to purchase something that interests them is often enough to get them to put in that credit card number onto your website. Again, these guys are impulse buyers. The second category is gonna be where most people are. This is about 60% of the market, and we're gonna call these guys average buyers. These consumers spend after moderate consideration. They will sometimes consider other alternatives and decide which one is best. They know what their budgets are and feel moderate pain prior to purchase, while impulse buyers felt no pain. They're gonna buy something when they feel that the value justifies the price, but they're not overly cynical and they're not overly skeptical. These consumers aren't just motivated by excitement and opportunity in the same way impulse buyers are. These consumers also consider facts and information. Now, the final category is going to be skeptical buyers, and they constitute 20% of the market as well. These are your stingy, frugal individuals that can't imagine anything worse than spending their money in the wrong way. These consumers assume the worst and like to hang on to their money. They will always conduct copious amounts of research on alternatives and on the products before buying. In fact, they prefer a world where they don't have to spend any money at all. Now, these guys are not motivated at all by excitement or opportunity. They are only motivated by facts, information, and additionally, an argument on why they need something and why they should buy that thing from you as a merchant. Now, it's helpful to view this category and this framework as a spectrum. So if we imagine impulse buyers to be on one end of the spectrum and then skeptical buyers on the other end with average in the middle, people fall along this entire spread. So what does that mean for us as e-commerce entrepreneurs? We aren't gonna waste our money or time trying to market to all consumers, which is something that most e-commerce businesses and entrepreneurs make a major mistake with. Instead, you and I are gonna aim to capture all of the impulse buyers and then at least half of the average buyers that lean towards impulse buying. So why are we ignoring skeptical buyers? It's simple. These are the people that are gonna do so much extensive research on Google and Amazon that they're gonna realize you are drop shipping anyways. It only takes a few Google searches to realize that you are sourcing your products from AliExpress, and why would we waste our resources, time, energy, and thinking on people like that that are never gonna convert? Now you may be wondering, Kevin, is going after 50% of the market really a winning strategy? It just feels bad leaving value on the table. The answer is yes. Think about how big the global e-commerce market is. Because remember, Facebook allows us to sell to the world, not just the United States. So if we can focus our efforts on just half of the market, we can build a massive business. In fact, every sale of my $20 million generated was due to this strategy. And this is what I call target conscious acquisition strategy. Meaning we have a specific target audience in mind, and everything we do is going to be geared towards acquiring that audience not any others. And again, we're going after impulse buyers and then average buyers that lean towards impulse.